Did you see that? A ghost.
Welcome to Paranormal Pentivity, a show about songwriting, ghostwriting, everything in between. I am your host, Nayim Edwards. Today, I was thinking about how I absolutely hate when people get around me and they try to do me. Like they try to be like me, engulf my characteristics, do the stuff I do, talk like me, instead of being they self, because they want to get in my good graces, instead of realizing that you get in my good graces by just being whoever the fuck you are. And if I like that, we can rock. If I don't like that, we can't. And not just that, that's the bad part, right? Faking it. But another terrible part about that is you get over here, you fake it, and then you run back over to wherever you can be, whatever the fuck you are at, right? I don't like that shit because I feel like you're trying to get trust that you know you don't deserve and you know you didn't earn by trying to fake similarities with the motherfucker when you know we don't have nothing in common. Anyway, this ain't what this one's about. I had to get off of my chest because I really don't like that shit. Like, please don't be that. And now that I'm thinking about this, is that the worst type of fucking person to work with? A person who will do anything to get whatever they want, even if it means compromising their morals, compromising their integrity, compromising what they actually are, because depending on what field you're in, that can be looked at as a good thing. A lot of times, if you're trying, it depends on what your end goal is. Some people will say, "Oh, she did what she had to do. He did what he had to do. He's strong. He's this. He's that." But that's just a weird fucking thing to me. I don't like that kind of shit. I really actually despise with all of my inside, because there's so many type of artists that you shouldn't fucking work with, that you shouldn't want to do no work with. But like, that fake shit is really crazy. Actually, now that I'm really thinking about it, the fake ass person, that person who will say and do anything, the spy, that can, one person get in your whole shit and just bust your whole operation up, even if you are a songwriter. This is why you have to have discernment. This is why you absolutely need a vetting process, and you have to continue to test the spirit. You have to continue to look at people, feel people out, get to know what the fuck is going on, because these motherfuckers, like, there will really, anybody, because my thing is, if they'll get around you and they'll be fake as a bitch, or they'll say anything and do anything to get something that they want to, what will they do to take you down? Honestly, there's a lot of different type of artists a songwriter should not work with, just because you get attached to that type of person. We don't give a fuck about if you had anything to do with that. You know, look at what's going on with R. Kelly. You think people forgot about the music that he's done? So if you work with this motherfucker, people are gonna say, "Oh, you knew he was XYZ. Why was you working with him?" You know, you just automatically get, even though you might have not even gave a fuck, you just here for the business. No, nobody cares. You get attached to whatever these motherfuckers are. And being a person who would do anything just for the sake of those type of people can bust your operation up. But anybody who would, I would avoid them, because you don't want that attachment. You don't want that on your name. You don't want to be lumped into that, because a lot of times you'll end up inheriting things that have nothing to do with you, you don't know anything about, and you don't know how to fucking combat. Or you'll get a person over here who is essentially a spy, who is just trying to get everything and all the intel they can get so they can go run off in the sunset, take whatever you got, and most of the time that's not it, because they, again, like I mentioned in the beginning, they'll run off and go take back everything they've gathered so people can infiltrate you or just completely take what you got. But this is why you never should give out more than what you're willing to. I have a thing where if I can't repeat it, I'm not going to say it. Anything I say once, I can say again. Anything I do once, I can do again. And there's a heavy vetting process before we can attach ourselves to each other. Now, if you come out later on and do some wild shit, because people change, people evolve, that's another thing. And it's up to me whether I'm going to rock with you or not. But my thing is, if I'm going to rock with you, I'm going to rock with you. So you can tell, you can just always tell who's who. You can always tell what the fuck's going on. There are good spies. But if you really, no. Because I'm thinking about a situation now. How you opening your mouth and talking about your ideas, opening your mouth and talking about the stuff that goes on, just you randomly planning, you randomly talking about stuff, and a motherfucker, now not me, I've definitely seen it happen, but a motherfucker take your idea and take it to somebody else, and that's essentially that spy shit. The fucking spies, we'll call them the spies. Like, they really sit around, gather intel, gather all this shit, and go take it somewhere else to execute. They don't have the full thing, but enough people are smart enough to be able to fill gaps in. Maybe. Like, it's just very crazy to me. Very fucking crazy to me. Like, avoid these motherfuckers. Fuck that shit. Avoid them. Don't have nothing to do with them. It's not worth it. Because you'll have your $1 million idea and you be done gave it away to a motherfucker who they was never being themselves anyway. You can at least respect the motherfucker, say, I don't have no friends. I'm a cutthroat. I hate everybody. You can respect a motherfucker who comes out and says it. This is going to be something you're going to hear me reference a lot. Because this is what I like. This is how I like to get the message to people. Now the way to end of the video. You can respect a motherfucker who says, make America great again. Because they are clearly telling you what their interests are. It's not we are the world. It's make America great again. Opposed to a person who is screaming, we are the world. All lives matter. Whatever the fuck people say nowadays, right? And they are only interested in their best interest. They're only interested in themselves. But they masquerade as this. I want everybody to win. I want everybody to be okay and eat, when they know they don't give a fuck about nobody but what they got going on to advance themselves. That is not to be respected, and those are the people you should look out for. Like, those are the people you have to know. You should have enough experience, especially working with people, that you are able to be able to pick up on the hints and pick up on the signs of when a person is just not shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be able to see that. You should be able to recognize and pick up on the little small things, because everybody has patterns and characteristics, and they don't really change as far as the basis of what people are. You should be able to know. You should be able to see. This is, all right, here's a red flag. Here's a warning sign. Let me get the fuck, Anyway, this has been Paranormal Pentivity. Stay the fuck away from the spies. Get you some fucking discernment. I am your host, Nayim, and I will holler at you.
Did you see that? A ghost.